Okay, we're looking forward to tomorrow night's Louth Derby at Weavers Park. Stevie, always a tough place to go.
Yeah, like it proved last year. We got turned over twice there last year, and Drogheda have had a great start to the season. So, two teams that are coming into it in good form. So, Louth Derby has all the makings for a really good game, and we're looking forward to it.
As you say, both teams in good form. It's a sellout. Big crowd expected. It does have the makings of one of the most, sort of the ones that look forward to the most over the last couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. It does. The crowds. That's another obviously great thing regarding the league so far. The crowds have all been really good. So, really looking forward to the game. Just giving a little bit of information to the sort of newer lads in regards. It's a little bit different game wise. It's a derby, so one we're all eagerly anticipating. Weather's not been great this week, so if it is, I suppose weather wise, if it's like today, tomorrow night, it will probably add to it in regards to tempo of the game and how slick the surface will be. So good game. We're going to bring up a really good support, and it has all the makings, as I said, for a really good one and a good atmosphere and a high tempo game.
We played them in the Malone Cup, obviously earlier in the year, and it went to penalties. But I think the atmosphere that night was a good sort of tester for the lads who played there.
Yeah, exactly. I was eager to play it in the Malone Cup just because I knew we'd have quite a new sort of squad, new players, just to get a feel for it. And it had the feeling of a league game, even though it was 2 weeks it was before the start of the season. There was a really good atmosphere there. So I just think when both the teams play against each other, that it's only natural that there's going to be a good atmosphere. As I said, they're close proximity we are to each other, and it has there's a little bit more on the line now than there was in the Malone Cup, but Drogheda would be really happy with the start they've had, and probably us after having a little bit of a slow start first couple of games, coming off the back of a good week last week.
What's been the focus this week after the draw in Derry on Friday?
No, just like a draw probably. Away from home, we never want to go into a game looking for a draw. But if you have a draw, the only sort of really good way to back up a draw, if you think it's not a bad point the way the game transpired last week, is to go and win your next game, and then 4 points from the last two games might be a decent return. Whereas if we don't do that, we'll have a disappointing points return from the last couple of games. So last week's game will be a totally different game to tomorrow night's game, in the way the structure of the teams and just the style of game, the size of the pitch, all those things into account. So it'll be a totally different game, but that's what makes the league so good and football so good. It's different challenges and trying to overcome those.
Yeah. Just a word on Friday night. Andy Boyle, it was his 300th appearance for the club. When you think of what he's done at this club, and he's had two spells, I think if he hadn't went for that, he would have been in the top 10 by now. But an amazing achievement.
Yeah, well, the one thing with Andy, when I played with him, and like his durability, he had no pre-season last year. He was after coming off the back of a knee operation. We had to sort of stuff a bit of work into him the last few days before the first game of the season against Derry, and he got thrown straight in. And then I don't think he missed a game from an injury point of view for the whole of last season. Touch wood, this season being the same. He rarely missed a game, and he started off this season in brilliant form. I thought he was exceptional last week, and in previous, like from the start of this season, he's been excellent, and he's really sort of leading by example, and he's just in a really good vein of form, and I don't think it's any coincidence that it's coming off the back of having a full pre-season.
Yeah, that's one end of the spectrum. We spoke to Johannes earlier on, and he's looking forward to his first Louth Derby. He's got a new bike to get him around town, and he said he's looking forward to his first taste of United Park.
Yeah, Johannes very mature. Even though he's only 21, coming into a foreign country, a new league that he would know nothing about, just his level-headedness, his maturity. That's why when Alfie got concussed against Bowes, after 15-20 minutes, I just knew from talking to him in the previous couple of days training that nothing would faze him. That's why we brought him on so early, and he done well in the game, and he's fitted in seamlessly. He's just a really good footballer, and really mature about his career, about football. Come here for different type of football to help give him more strings to his bow, and he ticks a lot of boxes of what you'd look for in a midfield player, and most important part as well, between the years, he's very, very solid.
You get free coffee in town if he does well up there tomorrow night for the rest of his life.
Yeah. I know, again, good for him. He wasn't there for obviously the Jim Malone, but he's seen enough footage, etc., to know what type of game it's going to be. Obviously a derby, and but he has a lot of the attributes that you'd look for. First and foremost, he has really good quality, but he also knows what it takes from a out of possession point of view.
Finally, it's the league takes a break after we've obviously a Leinster Senior Cup game Friday week, but the league takes a break. If you get 3 points up there tomorrow, I'm sure you'd be delighted with that start.
Yeah, it would be, particularly our last 4 games. You know, if we do, we'd have a good points return, but nothing's going to be won or lost tomorrow night. But it would be nice to be going into the break off the back of a positive result, and really looking forward to then coming back against Shamrock Rovers post international break.
Yeah, best of luck.
Cheers, Cap.